to 11 Alive's Julie Martin for the latest traffic impacts tonight. And Julie, you have been following a traffic alert on I-20 eastbound near Villa Rica.
That's right, in Douglas County. This is a picture of a multi-vehicle accident that occurred earlier this afternoon, shutting down I-20 eastbound for hours. That is now in cleanup mode, and the highway is at least partially open. One left lane open, but boy, you can imagine the backups here. Still advised to just avoid this area if at all possible. We're talking about Villa Rica between Villa Rica Highway and also the Liberty Road exits, and that has got traffic backed up even on the alternate route now, which is Highway 78. But again, good news is that it does look like at least one lane is now reopening, but a big slowdown there.
All right, Julie, thank you. Today, nearly 2 years after the attack that took the lives of 4 people, the Apalachee High School shooter admitted his guilt. Colt Gray pleaded guilty today to all 55 counts against him. Colt Gray fatally shot students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angelo and staff members Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irami in that 2024 attack that took place at the very beginning of the school year. 9 others were injured, according to the GBI. 11 Alive's Grace King joins us right now from the Barrow County Courthouse, where Gray entered his plea. Grace.
Well, Zach, the question now is whether Colt will face life in prison with or without the possibility of parole. We heard from a lot of the families earlier today before prosecutors began playing interviews with Colt after the shooting and in the hours and days leading up to it. There's a lot to unpack, but let's start with the families and some of the writings they found. On September 4th, 2024, investigators say 14-year-old Colt Gray arrived at school with a plan to kill.
It says second, walk from first to the bathroom. So I'll set my bag down, open it, and put on vest. I'll take it a moment or two to stay calm and really think about if I want to do this.
He didn't hesitate, opening fire in J Hall several minutes later, claiming the lives of math teacher Christina Irami.
Does Miss Christina Irami get another opportunity to live, teach, and be with her husband?
Football coach Richard Aspinwall.
He brought kindness, laughter, and strength into our lives.
14-year-old Christian Angulo.
Christian was a beautiful, innocent soul who was robbed of his dreams.
And 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn.
Mason was kind, compassionate, funny, and fiercely protective of others.
4 loving people who never made it home.
I had no doubt in my mind if Colt had actually attended school, as he should have, that Mason would have befriended him.
Those who spoke at Colt's sentencing suggested they could have befriended Colt if given the chance.
I would have been your friend, and I know a bunch more people would have.
Instead, his 2 minutes of violence turned into a lifetime of grief.
Some days when I think about the shooting, it feels like he killed me. I'm so angry. But I know my God, and evil never wins.
Their futures were changed forever. They believe Colt's should be too.
I have lived 688 days so far of a sentence with no parole. And that is what he should receive as well.
The defendant showed no mercy when he stole their futures, and therefore he should not receive the grace of a second chance.
We also watched or listened to audio of Colt immediately after that fatal shooting. He said he didn't really know what happened. He had voices in his head and didn't really remember if he was shooting at anyone or what had come over him. He said that he doesn't really have an explanation, but that he had suffered with a bunch of mental illnesses. His attorneys, of course, are trying to get him life in prison with parole. The prosecution and the families all hope that he will spend the rest of his life without any release. We'll find out Monday. Live in Barrow County, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
All right, Grace, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Colt Gray's father, Colin Gray, is expected to be sentenced next week. A jury convicted him on March on 27 counts, finding him criminally negligent for allowing his son access to the firearm used in the shooting. That sentencing hearing is set to start Thursday.